Hello, all of you vaingloriously wonderful people, and welcome back to Will It Off-Road at the races, where we're on crappy electric bikes. Yeah, this thing's terrible. I mean, compared to other bicycles, it's pretty bad. Not that I've tested a whole lot of bicycles in Will It Off-Road. I think I've only done two. Yeah, I've only done two. But the Scorcher beat this thing by like 35 seconds. Which isn't to say either one are fast. I mean, this one, it took 4:46 to get up the mountain, which makes it dead last in the San Andreas Mercenaries DLC. I didn't test the junk energy inductor because it's the same bike. Their performance is exactly the same. You can't get upgrades or anything like that. So there was no point in me buying them both and testing them both because it would have been near identical results. There's enough places in the mountain where you can shave little milliseconds here and there, but they would have been within a second or two of each other, so just negligible. I have no idea how I got such a huge lead at the start. The one thing I can think of is that I boosted right off the line and got away from everybody, and I think they had a bit of a calamity bumping into each other at the beginning, but I got away and I'm just going to keep boosting. My goal at first was to wait till the boost meter filled back up, but you'll see I quickly switch and pretty much wait for it to get about a quarter full and then just keep little boosting over and over and over again. It seems like I spend more time in boost that way. Is it faster? I don't know. Did it feel faster at the time? Absolutely. Did it keep me in first place? Well, keep watching. Another thing to keep watching for are member-only videos. Or not member-only videos, but member-early access to videos. A new thing that I have here on my YouTube channel for YouTube members only. Every video that I upload to YouTube, the day I upload it, as soon as YouTube is done processing, it will become available for members. Sometimes that may be just a day or two before it's scheduled to go live to the public. Sometimes it may be weeks before it is scheduled to go live to public. Matter of fact, like this video will go up I'll upload it 15 days before it's even scheduled to go live. So a YouTube member would have had 15 days to watch this. Of course, there's other perks for being a YouTube member, Patreon supporter, Discord subscriber, or Twitch subscriber. And those include access to the Vainglorious supporters section on the Vainglorious Discord server. A link to that is in the description down below. If you have your respective service linked, you get access to that channel where I post links to behind-the-scenes videos and IRL vlogs and just other like setup tours and just random stuff that only supporters get to see. All of that content is 100% ad-free at all times. The behind-the-scenes videos are not only ad-free, but they're less edited, so you get to see a lot of, well, behind-the-scenes stuff. And you get to hear our Discord conversations. Blake lagged out. Big sad. The OG himself gone. I know it seems like I've been talking about that for 2 weeks, but I'm recording today's video like 5 minutes after I got done recording the voiceover for last week's video, so it's still all the same thing to me. But anyways, yeah, you get access to that. Members or channel supporters. That's the only channel, only method on Discord that sends a notification to my phone. Everything else, I do not get push notifications for on my phone, not even when somebody mentions me directly. So it's the only way to get like guarantee that I'm going to see your message is if you are a supporter and I give those messages priority. Plus, I give priority to feedback and comments and just general suggestions from supporters. You know, I appreciate everyone who watches my content and offers suggestions for how to make it better. That feedback is always welcome. But I figure for those who are willing to take that next step and offer a bit of support to the channel, it's only right that I also give their feedback and suggestions a bit more weight in my considerations. I think that's fair. It's a good trade-off. But yeah, a lot of perks. And if you can't support the channel financially, I get it. I understand. I'm right there with you. I don't get to subscribe to many of myself. Just being here, just watching the video, liking the video, commenting on the video, subscribing, All of that helps the channel out greatly. Without your likes, without your comments, I'm not going to get bumped up in the YouTube algorithm. They're not going to recommend my video to as many people. And therefore, people who might one day be in a position that they do want to offer some extra support would never even have seen my content. So you're helping me get support, whether you're able to offer it directly or not. So thank you. Thank you for being here. I know there are tens upon thousands upon millions of videos that you can watch on YouTube and anywhere else on the internet. I won't judge if you go to those, other sites. You know what I'm talking about. But you chose to watch this, so thank you. That means a lot to me. What does not mean a lot to me is how sore my thumb was by the time I got down this freaking mountain. Not only was I leaning forward the entire time, so pressing forward on the left thumbstick, but I didn't know until right before this race started that tap to hold was, or hold for sprint and for bikes was a thing. Yeah, it's me. Blake told us about it. By the way, he kept racing even though he lagged out. Spoilers, he winds up finishing technically third. Like in the amount of time it took him to finish, he would have been in third place. So just to give you an idea where he was in that. He's not in a couple of the other races because he had to leave. He had something he had to go do, which happens. I try to schedule all the community events so that the biggest number of people can take part, but it's impossible to schedule it that it's going to accommodate everyone all the time. But I do my best. And you can take part in all of our community events, whether it's World Offroad, upcoming new Nintendo Switch stuff, starting with Mario Kart, because I do have a Nintendo Switch now. The time I'm recording this, I don't, but it'll be here Tuesday, which was last Tuesday for you. Wait, no, 2 Tuesdays ago. 31st, Halloween. So yeah, like 2 weeks ago. But tomorrow for me. No, 2 days from now for me. It's so confusing. I will never get used to that, that I'm talking to someone in the future. From the future. Oh, sorry, Futurama fan. But yeah, you can take part in it. Just be part of the Vainglorious Discord. We would love to have you. Whether you get to play in the community videos and live streams or not, we would still love to have you. We have a good number of people with a huge interest in a variety of games from all kinds of different platforms, PC, consoles alike. So you're likely to find somebody to talk to about something. Plus, we just have other general topics that we talk about. We have a tech channel where we talk tech, offer troubleshooting, because we've got people like myself with an IT background. We have Commander Hobo, who's here in the race. That's his career, is IT. And a lot of the people who are very knowledgeable with tech, and we can help troubleshoot stuff. It's just a perk of being part of the Vainglorious community. And just tons of other stuff. You can see pictures of my cat or post pictures of yours. Or a lizard, if you happen to have a lizard. Or a snake. Please just no spiders, because spiders creep me out. I guess if you really want to post a picture of your pet spider, I just wouldn't have to look at it. But anyway. Yeah. Moral of the story, we want you in the Vainglorious Discord server. You're pretty cool if you're watching this video. Everybody in the Vainglorious Discord server is pretty cool. So let's get all the pretty cool people hanging out together. Yeah? Yeah, cool. I'm glad we could agree upon that. And I look forward to talking to you there. And usually at this point, I've talked about these things, and we're like done with the first vehicle, and yeah, I'm on my way back up. So let's talk about World Offroad Bingo. It's a thing that has been around for a very long time. Link in the description down below. You click on Generate a New Card, and then click on the things that are on your card that happen in the video, and if you get Bingo, you'll be the 6th ever winner. Tell us about it in the comments down below. You don't get anything for it other than bragging rights. Maybe one of these days, if ever the channel gets like, ooh, big, and I actually make money on YouTube. Right now, I operate it pretty much a loss every month. By the time I pay for all my internet, electricity, and Adobe to edit videos and all that, yeah, definitely operating at a loss, and have been for 8 years. That's a great business model, isn't it? But anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, one of these, if ever I get there, maybe I'll give away stuff if somebody wins Bingo, but it'd be really hard to validate. But yeah, play Bingo. It's fun. It helps to pass the time when I'm riding a slow bicycle up the mountain. like I am right now. And I'm sorry for the constant flashing on the screen. I hope you're not sensitive to that. If you are, I probably should have thrown up a warning about the flashing. And I may remember to do that in post. I don't know. But it was just, I had a big lead. I didn't want to lose the big lead. And it seemed like boosting was what was getting me that lead, that my boost strategy was paying off. I didn't use it on as many of the flat sections, but like there I would, because that got me around that corner really fast and then let me carry a bit more speed into this hill than I otherwise could have. And then I definitely use it on all the inclines just to get up them as fast as possible. Because, man, you lose so much speed on a bike. This looks like this will just be really uncomfortable to ride through here. Just saying. Just through open flames. Just seems like that's probably not the brightest idea. But, hey, it's a video game, so we can get away with it. In general, I own all the bicycles in GTA Online, but I haven't really spent a whole lot of time riding them. Like, I don't remember how I maxed out my stamina. It may have been on a bicycle. I know when I first started playing GTA Online, there were all these different tips and tricks about how to max out all the different stats. Like strength, I loaded up a deathmatch so I wouldn't get a wanted level, and then I just went to a populated area and just beat up a lot of pedestrians. By the end of that death match, it was maxed out. Like my friend was off doing the same thing in another part of the map, and then when we were done, we just ended the death match and our strength was maxed out. For stealth, I stealth walked from Sandy Shores all the way into Vinewood Hills and did a few stealth kills of anybody that I came across. Maxed out my stealth. Flying, you can do it by doing a lot of takeoff and landings because you get more experience taking off and landing than you do just flying time. So I literally just flew circles around the airport. Take off, land, take off, land, take off, land. And I don't remember what the one was for stamina, though. It may have just been riding a bicycle until your stamina was up. I don't know. What I do know is I was terrified for what's about to come because we're in a race. I'm on a bicycle. You could fall off. But since it's a stunt race, it's not as risky. However, I did go off way to the side. That might come in handy if I can avoid the trees, and I can. This is the line you want to take right over here because you avoid all this, and then you can take this jump right here and then avoid the majority of the damage descent where you really get slowed down here in this valley. The more of this steep sided valley that you can... Is this called a valley? I don't know. I think it's called a valley. It's between two hills. Very small valley. But the more you can avoid this and get further down to where we are now, like right now, the better. Because now it's more open. There aren't as steep sides. There are still some boulders and trees, but there's not as many rough surfaces for you to get stuck on, for your car to bounce off of and get slowed down by. So, yeah, that's why the boost is at 250%. Because you may notice at the checkpoint, there's one at the top and one at the bottom. That's not just to troll people. Well, kind of. But it's because the course goes up and down the mountain. You know, up, down. So it's 4 passes in the same general area. And your checkpoints can't be physically close to each other. So eventually I just ran out of room. I didn't run out of checkpoints. I just ran out of room for checkpoints. So they had to be pretty spaced apart. It just so happened to work out that if you mess up the damage state, you're doing the whole thing over again. So I'm very glad I didn't fall off the bike. And I'm very glad that after 13 and a half minutes, I'm down. And Hobo didn't take a second. Who took second? Oh, that's right. We had somebody that had lagged out. So Hobo will wind up taking second. And then, of course, as I mentioned, it's me, Blake, who lagged out at the beginning of the race. He finished like 2 seconds behind Hobo. But you can tell just by how long this is going on. I had a lead and it just kept... I don't understand it. We're all on the exact same bike. There's no upgrades to these bikes. I don't know. I mean, we're coming up on a minute here. We're at 45 seconds since I finished. There we go. That helps. So 13:29 that I finished in. And I want to say Hobo finishes at like a 14:30. Or not, 14:20 something. So, yeah, almost a minute different. How? How was I a minute ahead on the same bike? I really don't understand. I truly do not understand. I was just leaning forward and tapping A the entire time and boosting as often as I could. So Raven is unfortunately once again gonna get hit by the DNF timer. He has really bad luck in rolling off front of the races and the G-Freds, but it's okay. You know, it happens. But hey, I took another win in Will It Off-Road at the races, and that makes me very happy. I don't get very many wins, so when I do, I'm kind of thrilled about it. But that is going to bring us to our next vehicle after I do a very, very rude gesture. And oh my goodness. The Albany. The Albany Brigham. Oh my god, it's just like I mentioned, it's like a sumo wrestling match up the mountain. Just these big, massive, heavy cars, all with equal performance. Well, I don't know that performance is really the word, because they are not performant. Yeah, they're rough. I do have to wind up waiting. I gave Raven just a little bit of a tap, and that sent him flying, just because of the mass of this vehicle. However, I didn't want to wait in the middle of the road, so I didn't slow down until I got to here. And now that's why I've slowed down. That's why I'm off to the right. If you knock somebody off the mountain, you gotta wait. And that's what I just did right there. I waited on Raven to get his place back, and then I can resume racing again. It's the right thing to do. You don't wait for somebody to call you out. If you know that you screwed somebody up, just help him. There he's on his own, though. He rolled his own car, and now it's more sumo wrestling. Hobo managed to catch up with all of us. He was a little bit behind. And we determined that that horn is either the sound that a baby seal makes when you club it to death, which I'm sorry, I know that's a horrible thing to say, but... or it's the mating call of the world's most bizarre-looking animal, or whatever that is. I bumped Donkey there, thought I was going to be in for another way. I really thought I was going to knock him off the side of the mountain, but what I did is knock him into a pretty good lead, because it booted him right past the spot that he was going to have trouble with, and now he's going. This car is surprisingly competent on this mountain. I mean, yeah, it took it over 3 minutes, but a 308 for this car? I mean, that's freaking impressive. That made it second slowest, and yeah, Ducky got sideways, and he makes it even worse for Raven, who's coming up behind. He just got out, and he's gonna run. I don't know if his car despawns or what, but oh my goodness, what a terrible, terrible place to abandon your car, especially when it's one that's this big. And that is just... that's rough. That is really rough. But, you know, we've tested 52 muscle cars, and muscle cars tend to not do the best on the mountain. But this thing is 23rd overall. Considered it beat a Sabre Turbo, a Nightshade, the Stallion, the Pajero, the Picador, the Tampa, the Tulip, the Coquette Blackfin, the Gauntlet Hellfire. I mean, those are not slouches. And it beat all those up the mountain. And that's because it doesn't have a lot of wheel spin when you slam the gas. It just, it's sure-footed. It just goes. You just got to be careful once you get going that the back end doesn't swing around on you and that you don't, you know, lose your momentum. It's very much a momentum car. Oh, Hobo. Oh, no. And this, I will never understand this. I went up and around that corner flawlessly when we tested it for World Off-Road. It just went around, and bye, Hobo. He just fell off the mountain. If you didn't see that, just back up the video a little bit. It's kind of funny. He just went boop off the side of the hill. But yeah, it went right up, and then yet for World Off-Road at the races, it didn't. Yeah, Raven's now in a pink Cadillac doing his best Aretha Franklin impersonation because he had to respawn. He got stuck somewhere. The way we do Will It Off-Road is, since it's a GTA race, we can get out at the beginning, so if somebody doesn't have the car, they can borrow one from somebody who has one that's upgraded. But to ensure that it's, you know, equal and somebody doesn't, like, just choose a better car, even that they don't, you know, own, and then beat everybody, we make it a rule that you have to choose the stock version. So if you respawn, you're still in the same car, and you're at a slight disadvantage. Sometimes a major disadvantage because you don't have upgrades. Oh my god, I have to do a 3-point turn again. Going up, you can wall ride. Going down, there's no wall to bump into and carry you around that corner, so you just got to do a 3-point turn in these long boys. But in this car, it just does, like I said, it's not fast up the mountain, but it is competent. It just does really well. I'm managing to hold a good lead here. And honestly, even though we just recorded this video, like, I don't know, 6 hours ago, I can't remember if I hold the lead or not. I think right here, it's here. I remember now. I bounced and got stuck, and then I didn't think I was going to have the grip to get unstuck, so I just respawned. And of course, that cost me a lot of time to do the respawn. Because as you go down, the checkpoints are further and further apart. So, yeah. Hobo definitely catching up. Does not help that I'm going over all these rocks. I do, and he managed to get up. However, I'm just going to do a strategic 360 into his way. Wasn't intentional. I was totally out of control, but it did manage to slow him down just a little bit. And I'm holding on to first, but just barely. And that was a really impressive line that he took through there to be able to cut me off. But once again, it meant he couldn't carry as much speed. Oh, he tagged me just a little bit. I spun out. That's not really a way, in my opinion. I don't know. People would probably argue about it because he was behind me, but it's in the dirt in a big, massive lead sled. So, I don't know. Some people could probably rightfully argue that he should have waited. In my opinion, given the conditions in the car, I don't think so. Now, had he done like a dive bomb into that corner, using me to slow down, oh, absolutely, that would have been a wait. But he didn't. His car just bounced a little bit and caught my left quarter panel. Which, look, that left rear quarter panel is the size of, I don't know, some people's house. So, it's not a big deal. And I wasn't mad about it. When it happened, we laughed, and never once did I think it should have been a wait. I just wanted to clarify, because I didn't want anybody being like, oh, Hobo knocked him off and didn't wait. No. The situation, I think, did not warrant a wait. But what I did to Raven earlier in the race, where I didn't brake in time, knowing full well that jump was there and they were all going to be slowing down, that was on me. I did not brake in time. I had plenty of opportunity to do so and didn't, and bumped him just enough that it messed him up. So that's why I had to wait at the beginning, because it was definitely me being a little more aggressive than I should have been. But oh my goodness, that horn! It's just it's good and it's bad all at the same time. It just truly is, and I really dig it. I dig it so much for all of that. It's, I don't know, and ever since, even before it came out, and I just saw it in like all the unreleased vehicles videos, you know, those videos I used to do a long time ago. I've just loved it because the car just has so much presence and so much character, and yeah, it's kind of cool to get a new best, fastest, most competent off-roader, supercar, sports car, or badass motorcycle or something. But at the same time, it's also just really cool to have cars like this that just ooze character and personality and, you know, style. Good style, bad style, whatever. It's still style. And I really absolutely love it because of that. It's so unique among the majority of what we have in GTA. Because the majority of stuff that has, you know, classic old styling are just awful all around. Whereas this is actually fairly pleasant to drive on the streets. It's not fast, but it's not a slouch either. You know, if you know what you're doing, you can handle it fairly well, as evidenced by the fact that it hasn't taken half an hour to get it up and down the mountain. And look, right, look at that. See, I couldn't do that earlier, and I guess I couldn't do it right now either. I just failed again. But yeah, it did that fine in World Offroad. I am stuck. But I am not respawning because that last checkpoint was a little too far away for comfort. Taking my time getting down here to the boost because I want to go off at a good angle like that. And I got a pretty good launch going down and actually closed the gap between Hobo and I fairly significantly. He had gotten stuck briefly while I was getting one hell of a good launch. So closed the gap pretty quick, but I'm pretty sure I get stuck on something here in a minute that I have to respawn and redo the launch. If I remember right, I'd park alongside a tree, or maybe it was this. I don't know. Yeah, it's this. It's just gonna take too long to try to get the car unstuck. And I should have done it before. I should have just cut my losses earlier and just respawn. Now I didn't get as good of a launch because of where I respawned. So Hobo pretty much has the win locked up now. There's no way because he was already nearly down. Yep, there he goes. So good job, Hobo, taking the win. Now it's up to me to hold off. I think it's Donkey that's right behind me. I could be wrong. But to hold him off and make sure that I can hold second place. Oof. Oh my goodness. It is definitely getting stuck on a lot of stuff. I was really worried that right there I was going to get stuck on my side again, like I did with, I forget which vehicle it was, but I got stuck on my side there recently and couldn't get the car to turn over and had to get out and use an up and atomizer. It might have been this car. No, it wasn't this one. I don't know. It's one of the recent World Offroad videos, but I don't recall exactly which one it was. It may have been the other Albany that we did when we tested this. That sounds right, but I don't remember what that was. Even though that was only a couple weeks ago, I can't remember what the other Albany was we tested. Oh well. God, what was it? It was a classic, I know that much. But anyways, I finished at, I don't know, I didn't see my finish time. There's Raven. Just, once again, having the worst luck. And if you wonder why I call him Raven, it's because it's been one of his many Discord names. He's had many Discord names. And he was Raven when he first joined Discord, so he'll always be that. That or British Brandon. So I took second place, Hobo took first, Donkey came in third, and we'll go ahead and say that Raven got fourth, even though it was DNF. Yeah, he was in fourth place when the timer ran out, so I think that counts. Thank you once again for watching World Offroad. We'll be back, well, when it's back, we'll figure that out then. And until next time, I'm Brandon, reminding you to stay vainglorious.